I'm looking for the speech center. Are you going to be my speech consultant? Oh yeah, perfect.
Sorry, wrong spot. Thanks.
Weinstein. Is one of you guys my speech center consultant? Sorry, wrong place, wrong place.
Ready for our writing center appointment?
Yeah, I hope they give us some good advice.
Me too. Thank you.
Thanks. This is what they said,
This is the
right?
right building.
Yeah.
Just upstairs.
Let's go.
All right.
Hey, we're looking for the writing center. Is this where we go for our appointment?
لا، أنت في المكان الخطأ. أنا آسفة. نحن نقرأ هنا ونكتب ولكنه ليس مكان
I think we're in the wrong place.
Wrong
Thank
room.
you so much.
Sorry.
اللقاء.
So this must.
This has to be it. Like, there's no way it's not.
This is the last Weinstein on this.
This is the only one because we haven't visited yet.
Hopefully we can finally get to this lost.
All right. Here goes nothing. Is this the place?
It's got it.
All right.
That one suckers?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
The Speech Center at the University of Richmond is primarily a practice facility. Students come here to prepare and practice presentations, either individual or group, or to rehearse before interviews in connection with jobs in the summer or internships. Sometimes we have students who come looking just to improve their articulate public expression, and that's chiefly why the Speech Center exists. Oftentimes, students will come reluctantly. They will come with all the joy of a root canal as you would going to the dentist. But once they get here, they find it's really a very cozy and encouraging place. The student consultants who work with the Speech Center visitor are approximately the same age. You don't have to be a communication major to be a speech consultant. So the team of two that will work with each client may major in the same thing as the visitor will major in. They are sometimes not as well versed in the subject matter that the client knows, but they do know how to give a good speech, whether the subject matter is biology, religion, political science, or leadership. Doesn't really matter. We can give you tips on how to better present your material. Many people are of the opinion that the spontaneous, the impromptu, the off-the-cuff speech is the best, and this is far from true. When you come with notes or an outline or just some ideas, excuse me, that you want to brainstorm, we can work with that and help you get it to a conversational level. You asked what people should know about the Speech Center that they might not readily find out or learn or come in advance knowing. And that has to do with the difference between writing for the eye and writing for the ear. When you are writing a paper, you're writing for something that will be read. When you are writing a speech that people are going to hear, it's quite obvious you're writing for the ear. And there's a big difference. When you come to the Speech Center, that's one of the things we try to get across most frequently is, yes, you've written a paper, but if you have to give a speech or a presentation on that paper in class, it's an entirely different animal. And The paper is one thing, it may be beautiful and it may be eloquent in terms of written prose, but for the speech, it needs to be vivid, clear, succinct, thorough, and animated. You need to bring the material to life when you're giving a speech.
Well, what is the Writing Center? That was the first question you asked me. Our mission statement says we'll help writers in any class and any level of proficiency with any sort of project. But that's a pretty broad definition. And as I look at the notes you gave me, you asked me who comes here and why. Well, our objective is that any student can come in. They can come in here with an initial draft or even some notes. Or they can come in here with a draft that they're almost ready to turn into a professor. If there's one problem, it's that too many students come in then. They don't come in earlier with a partial draft, maybe because they started at the last minute, or they fear that a consultant isn't going to help them unless they've got a full draft. But we really want students to come in anytime they need help. And it could to come in just to talk about the assignment. We're not going to write the paper for you, but we will talk about what in your partial draft or your notes seems like your main point. Make sure that that's what you want to say. To look for digressions, to look for where you might need support. We're not content experts, so you come in with a philosophy paper and you see a student who's not in your class, they may not know what that philosopher's points of view are, but they can look at your paper and probably say, seems to me that here you're making this claim. Is that the most important point you want to make? And it's amazing that for about 3/4 of our writers, and this is something first years probably don't know, about 3/4 of our writers have problem identifying a thesis that's worth making to a professor, because professors are really demanding. We don't want you just to say why something's different from something else, but to talk about, for instance, why that's important to an academic reader and how that advances our knowledge about the topic.
So students who are interested in scheduling an appointment, they can go to the Academic Skills Center's website, asc.richmond.edu, and that information will give you all types of information related to the Peer Advisors and Mentors program, the Peer Academic Skills tutoring program, on-call tutoring, on-call exam tutoring, etc., and the different workshops that we sponsor throughout the year as well.
If you're looking to make an appointment for tutoring at the center, go to our website, find the online schedule. You'll find a list of the tutors that are available and the subjects offered. From there you can go into the system, sign up, register, and then set up the appointments that you need for the next week, for the next month. So visit the website, once again, at asc.richmond.edu, and you have access to nearly all of the contact information that you would need to find us here at the center.
And students find out about the Academic Skills Center through a number of ways. We certainly have been appreciative of all of the support that we have been given over the years from our faculty and staff persons who refer the students to the center.
What are your favorite parts about the Academic Skills Center, if you had to choose?
Working with the students. It's real special, and especially when you see, after you've worked with a student more than 1 or 2 times, in which that student will come back and share that he or she has earned a significant increase in their grade point averages. They've done well in the subject areas. They really understand how to effectively study, etc., etc. So when you see that type of progress, that's pretty special.
And 3 o'clock every afternoon, Monday through Thursday, the tutors start pouring into the center, and then the students start pouring into the center, and there's bustle, there's activity, a lot of good things going on, so that's probably the highlight of my day.
Yes.
Perfect.